call our Tuesday, October 19th Common Council meeting to order. Elissa, will you please take the roll?
Pat?
Here.
Wen?
Here.
Britton?
Here.
Barth?
Here.
Lick?
Here.
Wagner?
Here.
Schmidt? Wetzel? Fromline?
Here.
And if you would please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance All right, the first item we have for tonight is the minutes of the council meeting from October 5th. Does anyone have any questions or comments on those minutes? Right, then let's go to comments and suggestions from citizens present. It looks like it's just our city team remotely, and I know why everyone is in the room. We have one public hearing. This is to amend Chapter 550 of the zoning code through repealing and recreating of Article 12, signs and projections. If you'd like to comment, please come to the microphone and state your name and address. Seeing none, I will close that public hearing. Let's go. Whoop, excuse me. Yep. Did you want to comment on the public hearing?
Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Oh, excuse me, yes, did you want to come to the public hearing?
That's my voice.
Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Oh, excuse me, yes, did you want to come to the public hearing? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Excuse me, yes, did you want to come to the public hearing?
No, that one I've never encountered.
It's haunted.
I mean, a lot of stuff has happened in this last year and a half, but not that one. I don't know how to fix that. Jordan, the sound is coming out of the camera and not the speakers. At least it was for whatever that just was. Okay. Anyone on the public hearing? All right, I'm going to close that public hearing. We have committee reports. We have the Finance Committee of October 5th and Plan Commission from September 27th. Any comments on those? Oh, that's why. This needs to be on output, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Trying to decode what was being said.
I mean, I don't know that we know. Besides, my voice was replaying somehow. We have no old business. Let's go to communications and recommendations. We have employee recognition. I'm gonna go to
Assistant Chief.
Assistant Chief. I was gonna say Deputy Chief, but that's Tony. Assistant Chief Olson.
All right, good evening, everyone. I would like to thank Julie Zwig for her work as an auxiliary officer with the Watertown Police Department. Julie leaves us with over 18 years of service to the community. For those of you that are not familiar with the auxiliary officer position, it is a non-sworn position that helps during large-scale events such as parades, school functions, Riverfest, community outreach, 5Ks, and so much more. The work that an auxiliary officer provides is invaluable. We simply do not have the manpower to staff these events with our sworn officers alone. Julie certainly deserves recognition for her service. In addition to her full-time job, over the years, she has given up many of her evenings and weekends to help the police department. Not only could we count on her helping, but she also seemed to know everyone in the community. She was a perfect employee. She provided help to the police department and engaged with our citizens. Because of this, I would like to present Julie this certificate, thanking her for her valuable contribution to the city of Watertown.
Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Thank you, Julie. All right. Our next one this evening is Donna Christian. You want to come on up, Donna? Another 20 years. So I asked Pete to provide a little write-up, and I'm pretty proud. If you know Pete, that's a decent email for him. So Donna has been a long-standing, dedicated employee for the last 20 years and has been a great member of this organization, serving in a variety of roles. She's always willing to help where it is needed, in addition to showing passion, enthusiasm, and
Great member of the organization, serving in a variety of roles.
an innovative spirit that makes our important work very possible. Donna is dependable, hardworking, and devoted to her job with a keen sense of detail to billing and payroll, but she also helps oversee the private well program in the city and assists in the cellular lease payments. I appreciate her service and commitment, and she is truly a valued member of our utilities team, and I'll add, to the city of Watertown as a whole. So please join me in thanking Donna for 20 years. Thank you, Donna. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. So, is that you or is that me? Or is that a ghost? Okay, we'll roll with it. I think it's not gonna work, I don't think.
Yeah, I needed the laptop.
Okay, I think what I'll do, we're gonna need the laptop to speak eventually, because I'm guessing Andrew will have questions. Oh, and they're a caller, so they're not gonna see chat. Okay, we're just gonna roll. We have committee appointments. I believe there's just one there for your consideration. This is to a new member of the Youth Advisory Committee. Is there a motion on that one?
So moved.
Motion by Romline,
I'll second that.
second by Wagner. Yes, as far as I know, it's Alderman Schmidt's daughter, if you're all wondering. I could see the wheels turning. I'm pretty sure it is. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, our next item is our monthly COVID update. Ms. Quest, I will invite you up. And here we go.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Just to go over the numbers with you, locally, these numbers are current as of end of day yesterday. We've had a total confirmed cases of 3,107. We have 36 active cases. And just to give you perspective, and I hate to say this too often, I shared this with the Board of Health last week, that our peak, our recent peak, was on September 26th, and we had 81 active confirmed cases. So we are in a much better position, and I'm really hopeful it continues. We have had a total cumulative probable of 412, and we have 18 active probable. We have 123 open contact investigations, and of our confirmed cases, and this is cumulative, we have had 4.34% hospitalized, and sadly, we added another death this week. This graph just gives you a little perspective in the different age groups, in the number of confirmed cases and probable cases. If you recall back 6 months ago, our less than 10 years of age and 10 to 19 years of age, those numbers, those graph, those bar chart were very small compared to the rest of the age groups. That has certainly turned around. We've seen more spread in our school-age population, actually comparing very closely to our young adult and middle adult age groups. And then our vaccine numbers, the City of Watertown Health Department has given 4,887 first doses, 4,412 second doses, and a total of 9,299 doses. Comparing Watertown to the state of Wisconsin, Wisconsin residents, 57.3% of Wisconsin residents have had a first dose, compared to Watertown, 45.5% of Watertown residents have had a first dose. Wisconsin population that's been fully vaccinated is 54.6%, compared to Watertown, fully vaccinated is 40.6%. So we have some work to do. I wanted to give you a little update. I keep getting questions about when are boosters coming on board, who is eligible for boosters. So I put this slide in just to give you a little bit of a timeline with the variety of vaccine presentations. Pfizer booster has been approved, and we have already been giving boosters to individuals who've had Pfizer vaccine, and it's been at least 6 months since they've had their second dose. Johnson & Johnson booster is in the process of being reviewed by FDA, and it is scheduled for an ACIP vote, which is the Immunization Council, National Council that recommends to the CDC dosing, spacing of vaccine. And then with the Johnson & Johnson, there is also some discussion about potential of using different brands of doses for boosters, which the other boosters, that's not in the discussion. And then Moderna booster is really in the same timeline, again, waiting for FDA authorization and then going before ACIP at the October 20th meeting. And then big discussion with parents of young children. When will my child be able to be vaccinated, the 5 to 11-year-olds? That also is in the pipeline to be reviewed by FDA, but a little bit after the booster discussion. And then that discussion will go before ACIP the beginning of November. So that'll be a little bit later. We're expecting to be able to give a vaccine to younger children sometime later November. We're hoping maybe before the Thanksgiving holiday, or maybe using that time frame when the kids are off to give vaccine, because parents are asking that we schedule for a time when their children would be off and be able to be home for a day or two after the vaccine. So we're looking forward to those releases. And then I wanted to share with you a lot of discussion about breakthrough infection after vaccination. And I have the link to this information. This comes from directly from DHS website, and I could only cut out a fraction of the graphic. But to give you a sense of the difference between not fully vaccinated and vaccinated. So rate among not fully vaccinated people is 5 times high, cases are 5 times higher in not fully vaccinated people than fully vaccinated. Hospitalizations are 9 times higher, and deaths are 19 times higher than the rate among fully vaccinated people. A very prominent individual passed away, I believe it was yesterday or Sunday, and Colin Powell, and he was fully vaccinated. He had underlying medical conditions, and we know that people, even if they are fully vaccinated, if they have underlying medical conditions and there's a concentration of virus around them, they're vulnerable. And people do die when they're fully vaccinated. They do get sick, they do have to be hospitalized, but at a much smaller, lesser rate. So just to keep that in mind, we know the risk is great for everybody, but the more people we have in a community that are vaccinated, the more protection we have as a population. And that is my last slide.
Questions for Carol?
I just have one. Can a vaccinated person transmit to a non-vaccinated person?
If they're infectious, yes.
Other questions for Carol? Okay.
Thank you
Carol.
all. Thank you.
All right, we have no new business. Let's go to the accounts payable.
Madam Mayor, I move we pay all accounts payable.
Thank you. Motion by Rumline,
Second.
second by Bartz. Discussion on the accounts? Yulissa?
Conley,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Abstain.
Britton,
Abstain?
Bartz,
Aye.
Lick,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
All right, we have reports and miscellaneous business. You have the Airport Commission from October 13th, Cable TV Regulatory Board from August 10th and September 14th, the Committee of the Whole of October 5th, Licensing Board from October 13th, the Payroll Summary of September 22nd to October 5th, the Redevelopment Authority of August 31st, and Site Plan Review from August 11th. Does anyone have any comments or questions on any of those? All right. Then we have one license this evening. This is a license application for a temporary Class B wine license for Big Brothers and Big Sisters of South Central Wisconsin for their Children's Miracle Network movie night at the Town Cinema on December 7th.
I'll move to approve that.
Thank you. Motion by Written, second by Bartz. Questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, let's go to ordinances. Our first is 21-37. This is to repeal section 228-14 through 228-17 cat licenses in our city code. This is here from Alderman Rumline and Public Safety and Welfare on the first reading.
Madam Mayor, I move for 2137.
Thank you. Motion by Rumline.
Second.
What was that? Second by Wendt. Sorry about that. Discussion? Elissa?
Conlon,
Aye.
Cash.
Aye.
Went.
Aye.
Britton.
Aye.
Bartz.
Aye.
Lick.
Aye.
Wagner.
Aye.
Next is ordinance 21-38. This is to amend section 457-11A, snow and ice removal of chapter 457, streets and sidewalks, article 1, general provisions in our city code. This is here from Alderman Wetzel and Public Works on the first reading.
I'll move to approve ordinance 21-38.
Motion by Written. Second by Bartz. Questions or comments?
What's this one pertain to? Is this the one that they were complaining about where the sidewalks, if they were behind their house, they had to shovel and they didn't?
Yeah, so historically, there's been areas where the city staff have cleared snow on private property. And recently, the topic has resurfaced and it went to Public Works. And Public Works settled on creating this section of adjusting this section of the code, creating a policy and an application, and certain criteria under which people would be eligible to have city staff, one of which is not having access to a sidewalk in the rear yard.
What about the one over by, it's like where Grunwald Ford and all them are,
On the bypass there.
yeah, the bypass.
Right, so I think traditionally, city staff had been plowing majority of those sidewalks, and with the Public Works policy that we put in place, the criteria that we established, if people along that route apply, they'll likely be approved for the city to continue serving
Shoveling.
the Grinwald,
Yeah, and
the vet over there, the dentist's office, the
VFW.
salon, the VFW, all those.
okay.
That was the intention, yep.
Any other questions or comments? Elissa?
Britton.
Aye.
Bartz.
Aye.
Lick.
Aye.
Wagner.
Aye.
Conlon.
Aye.
Cash.
Aye.
Went.
Aye.
Next is ordinance 21-39. This is to amend section 220-3, parent H, parent 3, classes of licenses and fees in chapter 220 of our alcohol beverages and other beverages. This is here from me and the licensing board on the first reading.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Motion by Wendt.
I'll second that.
Second by Written. Any questions on this one?
Does this exclude the demerit points and stuff?
This just makes it so that if you are denied, you can reapply within 1 year instead of 3.
Okay.
Correct? Any other questions or comments? Elissa?
Went.
Aye.
Britton.
Aye.
Bartz.
Aye.
Lick.
Aye.
Wagner.
Aye.
Conlon.
Aye.
Cash.
Aye.
Thank you. Next is ordinance 21-40. This is to amend section 136-5 through 136-9 of our city code. This is here for me on the first reading.
I'll move to approve the ordinance 2140.
I'll second that.
Motion by Written, second by Lick. Thank you, Mr. Lick, for waiting to be
Yes.
appropriately called on. Just kidding. We run it pretty casual here. So you guys, this one and the next one are, predominantly housekeeping items in order to accommodate the finance director and the clerk as two separate positions. I did some research to see what the organizational structures were in other cities like that have that model in our size and what they named it. So this is what the changes were here. And the next one. Any other questions? All right, Elissa?
Aye.
Barth,
Aye.
Cliff,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Conley,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
All right, thank you. Next is 2141. This is to amend section 7-1, city departments of our city code. This is here for me and me on the first reading.
So moved.
Motion by Pash, second by Bartz. Same story here. Any discussion? Elissa?
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Barth,
Aye.
Cliff,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Conley,
Aye.
All right, thank you. Let's go to resolutions. The first is Exhibit 9285. This is a resolution authorizing the RDA to submit an application for a community development investment grant. This is here from me.
Move to approve.
Thank you. Motion by Wagner, second by Ritten. Any questions?
Mayor, just a quick point. How many CDI grants are we eligible for?
I believe in a city like ours, the answer is 2
That's what I thought it was, okay.
in a year.
Did we?
I don't know if Alex is colored too. If he is, he should text me and correct me if I'm wrong, but.
I think it was 2.
I think it's 2 because of, traditionally, I think it's only 1, but because we're rural, I think
Right.
it's 2.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? There's no match. Do you want the roll? Which one? Okay, go for it.
Wagner,
Aye.
Conley,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Barth,
Aye.
Cliff,
Aye.
All right, next is Exhibit 9286. This is a resolution to amend the City of Watertown Employee Handbook related to vacation. This is here from me and the Finance Committee.
So moved.
Motion by Pash, second by Wagner. Questions or comments? How about this one? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right. Next is Exhibit 9287. This is a resolution to suspend the City of Watertown Employee Handbook policy related to vacation carryover for 2021 and 2022. This is here from me and the Finance Committee.
So moved.
Thank you. Motion by Licht, second by Bartz. Comments or questions on this one? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, let's go to the next, which is Exhibit 9288. This is a resolution to establish wards within the City of Watertown. This is here from me and our Committee of the Whole.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Motion by Went.
I'll second.
Second by Ritten. Questions, comments?
Did the county accept it?
We will now pass it to them.
Okay.
Elissa has had, I think based on the feedback, did have conversations with both counties about the feedback that was received. And I believe we incorporated, I'm looking at you. Did we incorporate, note, furiously taking notes. We incorporated the Laborie Street feedback?
yes.
Yes.
And
So what you submitted?
Dodge was,
And Dodge was verbally okay with that. Their staff. Then that has to go to their county board. So once you guys approve this, then we'll send them to their county, both county boards. Any other questions or comments? All right, Elissa.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Barth,
Aye.
Cliff,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Conley,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
Thank you, and thank you to Elissa and Rose and Andrew. They did a ton of work. Next is Exhibit 9289. This is a resolution to award the plaza demolition contract to Yankee General Contractors. This is here from me and the Finance Committee.
Madam Mayor, I'll move for 9289.
Thank you. Motion by Romline. Second by Bartz. Any questions or comments? I will say, on your desk, we talked about this at Finance earlier this week, and Jane Ellen said she'd provide a photo. I peer pressured her into providing it by today, and here it is. So this isn't what, obviously, what ours will look like, but it does give an idea of what the natural embankment up to a structure looks like a riverwalk. And then there's a building nearby as well.
And there's a potential this will be done before Christmas, right?
They have, and Andrew can pipe in if I'm wrong, but I believe the date is December 17th. They have to have their work complete by. So Andrew, when are they planning on beginning? Pending this approval, obviously, but
Pending the approval tonight, we'll need to get bonding and insurance information. Once we get that approved, I'm guessing it'll begin in early November. That is pending the approval of those documents.
okay. He said early November, once they have their bonding and insurance documents. A little muddled.
Now, just a quick, the river walk itself, it won't be fully accessible yet, right? Because of the seawall? Or what's the?
It's not fully accessible right now
Yeah,
because
but
of the seawall.
if the, oh, will this, we're not fixing the whole, or,
This adjustment will make it so that the Riverwalk will come from like the boardwalk section, the wooden section. And then we would have to, this is a part they were talking about would happen in 2022, is lay that path to allow the Riverwalk to stay connected through the current plaza to Main Street. So did I answer your question, Lo? Are you asking, it's currently closed? Yes. It will be closed for a little while yet. That portion, that
Yeah, that's what I
pavement
meant,
pour
that
won't be
connecting
till next
portion.
year.
Right, yeah.
Is that right, that's right, Andrew, right? We wouldn't pour that concrete until 2022.
Correct. We either go into contract with RENIC or look to do it with city crews if available next year.
The answer was correct. I don't know why his sound is so terrible. Other than that, the room's clearly more haunted than it really is.
I didn't want to put too much optimism. Yeah, I get it.
Other questions or comments? Elissa?
Conley?
Aye.
Cash?
All right.
Went?
Aye.
Witten?
Aye.
Bart?
Aye.
Lick?
Aye.
Wagner?
Aye.
All right, our next is Exhibit 9290. This is a resolution to approve the city attorney job description. This is here from me.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Motion by Went,
And second that.
second by Wagner. Comments or questions? Do you want voice? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? All right, next is Exhibit 9291. This is a resolution to approve the city clerk job description, and this is here from me.
So moved.
Motion by Pash.
I'll second.
Second by Written. Questions or comments on this one? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, and our last one then is Exhibit 9292. This is a resolution to approve the finance director treasurer job description. This is also here from me.
Move to approve.
Thank you. Motion by Wagner, second by Bromline. Any questions or comments on this one? Right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All three of those jobs are posted. So those went up. Check out our social media channels, share them with your networks of people. That would be very helpful. Our next item is comments and suggestions from citizens present. I'm going to unmute this caller. Just cross our fingers just to make sure.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, this is Bob Wetzel. I've been here the whole time watching y'all.
Bob, we've had a real hard time with your line. All it was doing was repeating my voice. So I think what we'll
I've
do,
been here, yeah.
Bob, did you want to comment on anything or?
Nope, I'm glad no one had a question about the snow removal, so we're good.
Okay, thank you. All right, with that, I'd look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Rumline, second by Wagner. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? My goodness.
Motion to adjourn.
There goes again.
Motion by Rumline.
Everybody
Second by Wade.
close that one before anything crazy happens.